Most people think of Iran as one thing: deserts, politics, headlines. But that version of Iran only tells a fraction of the story, because hidden behind the stereotypes is a country filled with ancient wonders, surreal landscapes, forgotten cities, and traditions that have survived for thousands of years. This is the side of Iran most of the world never sees, and our journey begins in a place that looks like it was carved out of a fantasy novel. Welcome to Kandovan. Tucked into the mountains of northwestern Iran, Kandovan is a village built directly into massive volcanic rock formations. Centuries ago, ash from volcanic eruptions hardened into stone. Over time, wind and rain sculpted the strange cone-shaped towers that still stand here today. But what makes this place truly remarkable is that people still live inside them. Families have called these stone homes home for generations. Step through the narrow paths of the village, and it feels like walking through another world. Tiny doorways cut into rock walls, hidden rooms warmed in winter, and naturally cooled in summer. It's a perfect example of how humans adapt to nature, not by fighting it, but by living with it. And this is only the beginning, because next, we head somewhere even more unbelievable, a place so extreme it barely feels like Earth. This is the Lut Desert. Stretching across southeastern Iran, the Lut Desert is one of the hottest places ever recorded on the planet. Surface temperatures here have reached over 150 degrees Fahrenheit. The air is dry, the silence is overwhelming, and in every direction the landscape feels endless. But harsh conditions have created something stunning. At sunrise, the sand glows gold. At sunset, the desert turns red, orange, and black beneath long shadows. And scattered across the land are giant rock formations called yardangs, massive ridges carved entirely by wind over thousands of years. At sunset, the desert turns red, orange, and black beneath long shadows. And scattered across the land are giant rock formations called yardangs, massive ridges carved entirely by wind over thousands of years. And while these landscapes feel alien, Iran also holds reminders of one of history's greatest empires. This is Persepolis. More than 2,500 years ago, Darius I built this ceremonial capital of the Persian Empire. At the time, Persia ruled one of the largest empires the world had ever seen. Today, the city lies in ruins, but even now, the scale is breathtaking. Towering columns still rise from the earth. Stone staircases remain lined with carvings of delegates from distant lands, each bringing gifts to the king. Walk through these halls, and it doesn't feel abandoned. It feels paused, like history is still waiting here. And then there's another side of Iran entirely, an island shaped by geology, myth, and time. Welcome to Qeshm Island. Located in the Persian Gulf, Qeshm Island feels like an open-air natural museum. Here, you'll find one of the world's longest salt caves. Inside, the air turns cool. The walls sparkle white. Sound echoes through chambers that seem frozen in time. Not far away is Stars Valley, a landscape of twisted stone towers, cliffs, and canyons shaped by wind and water. Locals once believed it was created when stars crashed from the sky. Science tells a different story, but when you stand there in total silence, surrounded by shapes that seem impossible, the legend doesn't feel so far-fetched. By now, it becomes clear that Iran is more than monuments and landscapes. To understand the country, you have to experience its cities, because this is where the past and present meet every single day. First, there's Tehran, the capital, fast-moving, loud, alive. Modern towers rise above crowded streets. Cafes fill with conversation. Traffic never seems to stop. Yet hidden between the chaos are old bazaars, quiet alleyways, and corners where history still lingers. Tehran is not one thing. It's energy, contrast, motion. Then there's Yazd, a city that feels untouched by time. Its mud brick buildings blend into the desert. Narrow lanes twist through shaded neighborhoods, and above the rooftops rise wind catchers, ancient towers designed to cool homes long before air conditioning existed. Everything here moves slower, calmer, quieter. And finally, Isfahan, often called half the world for its beauty. This is where architecture becomes emotion. Grand squares, blue-tiled mosques, intricate bridges, handcrafted patterns in every direction. Stand in Naqsh Jahan Square, and the scale alone is enough to stop you. But the real beauty is in the details, the reflections, the symmetry, the sound of footsteps across stone. Places like this weren't built just to impress, they were built to inspire. And maybe that's what surprises people most about Iran. Not just what exists here, but how much of it the world never talks about. Because beyond the headlines is a country of artists, builders, traders, poets, engineers, and communities that have shaped history for centuries. A place where beauty hides in ruins, in silence, in deserts, in crowded streets, in a stranger's smile. And when all of it comes together, Iran stops feeling like a place on a map. It becomes something else, a story, an experience, a memory that stays with you long after the journey ends.